Okay, we're good to go, you guys. We're live streaming. So I'll go ahead and just kind of keep the meeting moving along if that's okay with you guys. So we'll call it to order at 9:04 a.m. And with the quorum present, we can go ahead and get started. First item on the agenda is old business. Review and consider the draft meeting minutes from December 2nd. I'm wondering if I sent those to you guys.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
Let's see. And so if we can just get a motion to approve.
Did we?
Let me. They are, yes, but I don't think I emailed those to you guys, so we'll put that back on the agenda for our next meeting to be included with the minutes for this meeting.
Okay, so do you need a motion to have that moved, or we're good? Okay.
No, we're okay.
Okay.
Okay, moving along on action items. So we are going to be re-reviewing today the updated December 2020 financials. I know you guys already made the recommendation to the board to approve those, but I did send out a new set, an updated set on the 9th of March. So those today will be re-reviewed, as well as your January 2020 or 2021 unaudited financials. And so Felicia and I are here if you guys have any questions or concerns about those.
We reviewed the December ones already, right?
You reviewed the December ones and then they got updated after you guys made that recommendation and had already reviewed them. So we wanted to put those back on your plate to make sure that you guys were still okay with them.
Yeah, that's what I wanted, but if we've already reviewed it, I'm not too worried about that. I just had one question on January. The office rental went up. That's the only one I had a question on. It went from, and my notes aren't coming up, but it wrote down that it went from the budget of $13,938 and office rental was $19,733. And isn't rental usually a flat,
Yeah, we've had some issues. So recently, we've kind of been going back and forth with the property management company. They had sent over some invoicing and then we sent checks with several invoices attached to the check and they weren't reconciling those properly. And so we've been having to go through and re-reconcile that account to ensure, because what was happening is they were saying that we still owed them for March when we actually had a credit with them. And so they were just not applying our payments properly. But having said that, that might be why you're seeing a difference, but Felicia will probably be able to expand on that.
And there were some HVAC repairs that happened in here that tied into that. And so it automatically goes to that GL. It doesn't go to like HVAC repairs because typically we don't have anything that's a GL for this specific suite. And so those are extra charges. So there was like a $612 charge for an HVAC repair. And then there was another alarm issue that needed to be taken care of. So that line item fluctuated just a little bit, but that's the only reason why.
So we may see a credit once they get.
So we actually do have a credit right now. We have a credit for April. So right now we're paying May's. So right now we have like a $16,000 credit.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Okay, so then we should see that. All right.
Yep. So it's always just so you know, it's always going to be a month ahead.
Right. Okay, so it's not really, it wasn't really in January for December.
Correct.
Okay. That would really be my question I have.
Cool.
And then thing is, well, then, are the Decembers, I know they're prelim, but they're not, then they're gonna be changed again, or just gonna go to the auditors?
So this is what's gonna go to the auditors, and the reason why it was changed is, Katie wanted some specific, invoices that had come in to actually hit that month versus being rolled over to January. So we just had those expenses hit in December instead of showing up on the January financials, which is why you're reviewing both of them right now.
Okay, yeah, because if, what you just said about the January rent really being December's, that shouldn't be, that should be rolled back into 2020.
Correct,
Okay,
correct.
because it must be approved, and that's why I was wondering, what's the accrual shut-off date? It should have been done by now.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, absolutely. So we
Of course.
typically, we stop accruing on the 15th, but
Okay.
I don't typically accrue for the rent just because it's a standard thing. The only things that I will accrue for are major expenses, something that would throw that line item completely off budget.
Yes.
So specifically like Securitas, we don't get their invoice until the month after
Okay,
the services have rendered. So I accrue
They
typically
accrue.
for Securitas if I don't get the invoice in the first of the
Yes.
month. But like if there is a major expense that may happen, something happening at the parks or something like that, then those large items will be accrued for.
Okay.
And I communicate that with Katie so that when we do see the preliminary financials, if she has questions on it, she already knows those items are being accounted for.
yeah, that was SKU 21.
Exactly.
Exactly.
When does everything go to the auditors? When, I should know this, but when is the audit done?
They're actually in process
Right now, but they typically start in December, but we had them because we were rolling things back into December, we held them off a little bit, but they've actually started the audit. But in December, typically the 1st of December, between that first and second week is when they start the audit of the association.
I have nothing on January really, other than that. Is that right now?
Okay.
For the unaudited financials, that's it.
All right. Can we get would the committee like to recommend approval to the board of directors?
I recommend approval for the directors in the December draft and, or the December updates and January unaudited financials.
Great. So now we can move to the open comment period. And it's just anything that you guys wanted to talk about regarding financials.
I just want to show my support in removing courtesy patrol in regards to finances. I know that the board is reviewing options and our contract, but every time I go over the finances, that's just one big line item that I would like to see removed, even if temporarily until we get our financial ship back on track. I know we can't make the recommendation until they'll agree, but that's just my 2 cents that I want to make sure that
Sure.
And
but I would like the board to be looking into that and making sure that they're doing everything right by the community financially, and the critical control is the one that eats up a lot of our budget. And I want them to scrutinize it and look at it and make sure they're paying attention to what patrol is doing and what they have to offer in relationship to what we're spending for them to be here. So,
Appreciate that. Yeah,
I was really
absolutely.
glad to see them taking that seriously, because that expense, I think we should keep a patrol, but I think their cost is off the chart. So it's just nice to see that the board did take our recommendation, be it yes, no, whatever. That at least they're looking, maybe cut it back, but I do think they serve it. So that's a good thing.
Yes.
And then they also, is this the meeting they're gonna take into consideration our recommendation on what to do with the excess funds?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. That's part of their finance committee meeting of the memo.
and they're gonna do that at the board meeting, because the board
Okay.
meeting is Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, and just so you know, Katie did a wonderful job on her treasurer's report. She provided a lot of options for them as far as cost saving things that management did provide to her as far as,
Hey, good
speaking of
morning.
the devil.
Hey, Katie's here.
Yeah.
But no, Katie, I was just explaining to
You're
them,
being complimented.
how wonderful you did with, your treasurer's report and just providing all of the cost savings, that management did provide as far as things that we, don't have to, do as far as events and certain things of that nature, the loan payment, our reserve study, the phases of the irrigation, and just taking all of those things into consideration as far as cost savings and how we can roll that possibly into the reserves and or, just pretty much what the board decides to do at that point. So kudos to Katie, because it did take a lot. I looked at it this weekend, because I didn't have time on Friday, but everything looks to be on point. I saw your formulas. I think everything looks great. I didn't see any discrepancies as far as anything that you did. I will be looking just at a couple of other things, but from what I saw this weekend, it was amazing.
Yeah, you need
Can I
your
get a
cohorts
copy
to
of
read it.
the treasurer's report?
I think
Yeah.
some of them already have.
Because that's the biggest thing, all their hard work, and if they don't read it, blow it up. Good, can we see it?
Yes, I'll send it to everybody.
They are.
It's got a lot of good information in it.
Good. Keep it straight, keep the points under control.
My goal is to have all these different options so that everybody can see if we do this and this and this will happen, or this and this and this will happen, so.
Goal reached, for sure.
Yeah.
So Katie, we're at the open comment period now. The committee went ahead and recommended approval for the board to approve the updated December 2020 and the January 2021 unaudited financials. The next board meeting date is April 26th, 2021.
Finance committee.
Thank you, Finance Committee meeting. Let me say that again, the next Finance Committee meeting, just so that nobody on the, listening on the live stream is confused. The next Finance Committee meeting is April 26th, 2021. And if there's nothing further, we can call for adjournment.
Okay, we adjourn the meeting at what, 9:15?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
January, we can't pick it apart, so we need to pick it apart. January financials, because it's only 1 month, so we need to pick it apart.
I know. I like you trying to meet.